All right, well, I'm awake, so here's your reading. I was almost asleep, and then the energy came in, and what it feels like is it's like somebody went through something rough today, you know, and had to put it away, and tried to go to sleep, and then is now, it's taken over their thoughts kind of thing. You know, racing thoughts. So let's see what that's about here. I've been trying to shuffle a little bit. Hi, I'm Reverend Megas. I am a whole bunch of things. 30-year tarot reader. 31 now, actually, which is pretty great. Psychic medium, divine channel, divine healer, hollow bone, and divine servant of the psychopomps. And that's the title I have to use because that's the one they gave me. So let's see what we got here. We're going to pick a pile. Let's see which one is going to be for today. I think there's some uncertainty in, you know, whatever is going through somebody's head right now. It seems to be, oh, hello on the bottom here. King of Cups. Coming out of nowhere. Anyway, what seems to be going through someone's head right now is really struggling to choose or really struggling to make a decision. King of Cups, and I feel like I'm not going to say it's about love. You know, maybe it is. Does it matter? What matters is that what this is, a decision that somebody is trying to make from their heart, or wanting to make from their heart. And there may be some pushback against that. So let's see what's going on here. All right. Well, maybe it is more romantic anyway. Jesus. All right, well, so here we are. King of Cups fell out right in the middle in the... This is the querent. So the lovers in this situation. This is about a partnership. This is about being together with someone. You know what I love about this deck is that the lovers and the devil look almost identical. I really do love that. Let's see here. So we've got in the past, we've got Queen of Pentacles. So, and in the present, we've got the Moon. We've got intuition going nuts, and a lot of hidden things, a lot of secrets coming out, and moving into Three of Wands. You know, this Three of Wands here is actually... it's like a window in the wall. It's looking out at a path ahead. Now, y'all can say whatever you want about the traditional meaning of the cards. I'm an intuitive reader, so bite me. This is my reading, and I've been doing this for 30 years. So there you go. I'm tired. I should be sleeping, but I'm not. So pardon me if I'm a little cranky during this reading, but man, Spirit's going to get you up in the middle of the night. You got to do it. You know, I feel like in the past, somebody felt secure. We're dealing, you know, this is Queen of Pentacles. And gosh, you know, and it's the word that comes to my mind is kept woman. Genderless. This is absolutely genderless. I don't care if it's a Queen of Pentacles. I'm never going to say masculine or feminine because gender is a spectrum and that stuff is garbage anyway. You know, it's about within and without. It's about what we're putting out into the world. It's about what we're creating inside. It has nothing to do with, you know, whether someone's a provider or not. Lord in heaven. Anyway, But in this case, this Queen of Pentacles is really saying to me, like, felt secure, felt safe. There was a wealth about them. There's a security, but it doesn't feel like it's all generated from them. Or it feels like, it's somebody else's venture that they're joining up with, or at least that's how they felt. What I'm seeing is somebody didn't feel like they were really in charge, but they were okay with it because they were managing what they wanted to manage and everything was all right. And now in the present moment, things are not. Things are not. We've got the moon, we've got secrets, we've got the two black dogs on the stairs staring at the moon. We've got all these stars. The truth, though, is when the moon's out, can't see as many stars. So I feel like somebody has been trying to hide something, dim something out, the words, hide the shine is what I'm hearing. Make something look less attractive. Make something look... There's some lies and manipulation going on here in the background. Make someone blind to the truth. And Three of Wands in the future here. Now, things may be coming, and I see somebody looking out at a window at a distant horizon, where their ships will come in, as it were. So this might be something about... We got King of Cups and the Lovers here. Somebody walking away, somebody trying to make a decision to walk away from something. Looking out at a different avenue with greener pastures, with a brighter future, where the success they imagined would come in. And I do believe this is around a partnership. Now, it could be about love. It could be about a partnership. It could be about a friendship. Everybody's so concerned about if Greg really likes me or if he's coming back, and I'm never going to tell you because it's just about your healing. It doesn't matter if Greg is going to come back if you're not emotionally ready to handle that. Or you guys aren't, emotionally mature enough to deal with each other. So, my readings are about healing. I am a healer. My readings are about healing. And so what I aim to do with these is help you find the best path towards, the clearest path towards your highest and best. And that's what I do here. So what I'm looking at, seems like somebody is really maybe regretting their decision to give up some of their power or allow somebody to lead. And I feel like it was all based on money because the King of Cups fell out of the deck. And I think that decisions were made around money and financial security and material security as a way to happiness. And I'm not sure that's working out very well because we're now looking at distant horizons to see, or out at another vista to see, thinking that looks a lot brighter over there. Maybe my ships will come in there, So this would be a very hard decision to make because we have our security, and as humans, we like to stay in our comfort zone. And even if it's detrimental to us because it's familiar, we will stay in a familiar hell. You know, if God opened the door and say, hey, here's heaven, just because we haven't been there. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what it's going to be like. We'd rather stay in hell. Crabs in a bucket, all of that stuff. You know, it takes courage and will to step out into the unknown. And when we do that, we transform ourselves. Around the Lovers, King of Pentacles, the Emperor. These are this is Angel Tarot too. So we've got Mahaya and we have Mikhail. The gentle God and like unto God. And if ever there was a dichotomy about a decision, feeling stuck in this place of like, not wanting to rock the boat, wanting things to be peaceful, wanting things to not explode into a horror, I guess. This is what makes the decision hard. I think somebody feels that there's a lot of managing that has to be done regardless of whatever choice is made, to be honest. It seems like, you know, there's downsides to both decisions, but, you know, we don't base our decisions and what's right for us on, you know, what feels good and what feels bad, you know. Because for someone that could mean, you know, using drugs, not using drugs. It's something that you have to really think about because, you know, positive change, especially when there's a mess like this, there isn't an out that's going to be simple. But there is a way out that is going to be following one's heart. And somebody's really passionate about a certain direction. That's the environment. Hopes and fears position is this Ten of Cups. And a Page of Wands in the final outcome here. I think somebody wants cups instead of pentacles. Or is understanding that pentacles by themselves is just not enough. Like, it was great for a while until all of these secrets and lies and stuff started stacking up because someone wasn't paying close enough attention to what was going on in the background, or thought they didn't need to. Ooh, okay. So we have, and they came out inverted. We have Six of Cups, Cialia, and we have Seven of Swords, Monaco. God, nurturing and maintaining everything. And the God who stirs all men, motivation, lifts up those who are fallen and humiliated. And they're both in reverse here. Whatever happened in the background, you know, I think some things are still being uncovered. No wonder you're awake. What a mess this is. Well, here we are. My best advice, and you're not asking me, well, I don't know, maybe you are asking for advice because that's why I'm doing this reading, although it's not, you know, it's more about direction and helping you find your answer versus giving you the answer. But really my best advice here is you don't need to dive into the details of every single misdeed. You might be tempted to uncover everything and fix it all. But you shouldn't, because it's just going to lead you into a place you don't want to be in your mind and in your heart. It's going to be very painful. It's going to be a distraction. It is going to cause a spiral. So, the lies have been exposed here. Can I get some advice on like best action here? Like, I don't know that you can't avoid discomfort in life, though. You really can't, because it's part of life. If we were always comfortable, things would never change. And I've heard other people say too that things are about to really spring forward when you're the most uncomfortable. The moon. And this is Gabriel, and he did come out inverted. Divine revelation reveals messages, has the power to destroy. I feel like somebody's afraid of what... I'm going to turn the deck up right here before I start shuffling again, or everything's going to come out inverted. I napped today, so that's a thing. It's not like I didn't get sleep, but I've been doing so well and being in bed and asleep before midnight and waking up on time, and things happen. And that's kind of like where we are right now. Things happen. Things are disturbed, and we have to move through them. What do we have here? 3 of Pentacles. God hearing lamentations. What ELL, he says to me is, you don't have to do this by yourself. You can ask for help in that. If things are going to be a disaster because you have to make a decision that is difficult, but that you're very, very much wanting to make, if it's going to cause a mess, then you ask for help around managing that, or how to manage it, or you have people around to help you manage it. I have had to do that with people. It's sometimes it's a thing. Can we clarify? Oh, geez. Here we go with these. This just fell right on the King of Cups here. What do we have? And Nawel, 6 of Swords. Samael, the Devil. 3 of Cups. Aiel. And then, we have all these vowels. And they all sound almost the same. 8 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 6 of Swords, and the Devil. Got the pleasure of man's children. Transformation. Fame and renown. Influences, commerce, voyages, and great discoveries. Right hand of God. 3 of Cups. Samuel, the Devil. Seduction and downfall. 6 of Swords. I feel like somebody tried to convince someone that they were happy where they were, and that going in another direction was the wrong thing to do, and that may be where all of these lies and ugliness are based in. Somebody trying to tempt and control and seduce someone into staying where they are. And I see this Six of Swords. This Anawel, the meat god. You know, I feel like somebody was kind of used to deferring. Oh, wow. As I accidentally dropped it and it fell inverted right on top of the Queen of Pentacles. So what I think is that somebody kind of deferred to other people to make a lot of decisions, and we're now in a point where we're seeing that was a really bad idea. Somebody was tempting you down the wrong path, and now it seems like we're trying to move on to the correct one. And this ends with, you know, quote unquote, final outcome where you're headed right now is the Page of Wands. You may be a younger person. You know, the thing about this Page of Wands, too, is as we talk about being meek, she seems a little shy. She seems a little unsure. And she's on the other side of this Queen of Pentacles who seems very secure about herself because she can kind of move with freedom and still have something holding her up as she sits on this swing with the pentacle on her lap. The Page of Wands is not quite as sure, but she has very good ideas. She's very smart, and she knows what success and fulfillment look like. And she may be a little unsure, but she's also pretty excited about it. And we've got all these wonderful wands and passion and feeling and 10 of Cups in this hopes and fears position. What is... Tell me about... Okay. 10 of Cups. You can get them out. Angels work fast. What can I say? 9 of Pentacles. King of Swords. So, 9 of Pentacles. Yehuya, the all-knowing God. Submission to higher order identifies traitors and destroys their plans. King of Swords. Laureate, the exalted God. Victory. Grants victory and protection from lightning, which would be air element, which could be verbal jabs, insults, verbal abuse, manipulation. Temperance. Shawakia, the god of joy, reconciliation. Regains the favor of those one has offended. And the sun. Mehiel, the vivifying God, resurrection of life. Protection from adversaries, rabies, and wild beasts. Well, you know, if you're... I don't know, if you're 40-something feral hogs have rabies and are lost in the woods, you may need to know that. Anyway, what I'm seeing here... Where'd the Emperor... Oh, no, that is the Emperor. Mikhail. There's a confidence problem here, and I think that's why this decision is so hard. There is, you know, there's a sense that somebody has allowed their decisions to be approved of or run by others constantly, and so never really had to own things as heavily. And now we're in this place where somebody else's decisions or whatever the heck was going on really weren't that sound. There was a lot of secrets, there was a lot of ugliness going on, and it's all starting to come out. And somebody knows something has to be done. King of Swords here. Hopes and fears. You know, there might be some hesitance about if moving forward in a new direction is even possible at this point. I think there's also some fear of repeating the past. You know, whatever circumstances you've been through, where you have to understand that whatever circumstances you went through in the past, you're not going through those exact same circumstances now. Those are not the same people. It's not the same situation. It's not the same place and time. So it is not going to go that way. As I like to say a lot, in a universe of infinite possibilities, which it is, there's always another way. There's always another option. And there's always a way for things to go different. So if you get yourself stuck in this mental prison of it's always going to be like this, then you are going to stay stuck there. It's an illusion. It's not always like that. And it can change. When we believe it is, we start making it happen. You know, it's not that you're attracting bad stuff to you. It's more like you start, you know, engaging in that self-fulfilling prophecy and self-sabotage. Most of the time because we're too afraid to do things differently or try again. Temperance, the god of joy. You know, it's the temperance, the god temperance here is looking right at the King of Swords. And the biggest lesson here, protection from lightning. Don't let yourself get, and this is why I think I said earlier, you know, don't try to uncover everything. If you need to, you know, cut the damn thing off at the neck or whatever it is, just to get it to stop, then that's what you need to do. You don't need to dive in to see exactly how ugly it was. You just need to stop it and protect yourself from it and move forward with balance. In that, you can still forgive in your own time, in your own way, and the reason we do that is not for the sake of other people. It has nothing to do with allowing other people to operate in toxic ways without any kind of consequences. What it does have to do is our ability to release the weight of that, heal it, transmute it, allow ourselves to learn from it. We have trouble learning our lessons if we're just looking at the past with shame or in a viewpoint of toxicity or resentment or anger. We're not going to be able to let that go. And we literally, it's like a chain. It's like a big stone chained to our ankle that we drag behind us for the rest of our lives. You do have to learn how to forgive, but you also have to understand that forgiveness is not saying it's okay, it doesn't matter. It's saying, I'm letting this go because I don't require anything else from you to heal and move forward, or from this situation to heal and move forward. And in that, we can also say, you know what? This ain't anything I ever want to revisit. And frankly, I'm not going back. You don't have to let anybody back in your life to forgive them. They don't have to be in your life to forgive them. You can forgive them at a distance and release yourself of that shame or whatever it is, the conflict, and move forward. And, you know, with this 10 of Cups, it's really, I think be forgiving with yourself, be forgiving with others, but also be forgiving with yourself. There was more here going on. You know, this really screams manipulation and abuse, but we have the sun here on this Ton of Cups. Restoration of life, protection from adversaries. It will be okay. Is it going to be okay throughout the whole process? It probably won't feel like it. Absolutely not. But it will get there. And, you know, the storm has to come and roll over and pass. But the sky will clear. Can I get a little bit more encouragement on this last card here, Page of Wands? Truthfully, you just have to hang in there. And do what you know is right, which is follow your heart in this, not your money, not your lack of wanting to engage with things, or just simply take a step back and let things do themselves. It's time to be involved at this point. And I think you realize that now you realize it, and now you make those steps towards moving that. Oh my goodness. Four of Pentacles, Mitzrayel, God liberating the oppressed. Mitzrayel is one of the angels I work with quite closely. God liberating the oppressed, or God who comforts the oppressed. In this outcome position, look for support. Reach out for support. Allow people to support you. And don't keep it inside. Talk about it. Because there's something in here about, you know, this isn't exactly your fault. You know, perhaps you had a responsibility here, but again, there was something else. Like I said, manipulation, abuse. That makes it really hard to see clearly when you're in that stuff, because it literally changes the way your brain works. That's not a joke. It's not like somebody can just snap their fingers and suddenly their brain works better again. So, you know, I have a lot of compassion for that, because I know what that's like, and it does take time to heal. And then we have Seven of Cups, Asalia, God, the just judge. Contemplation makes the truth known in legal proceedings. Somebody thinking about, I don't know, maybe somebody's thinking about getting a divorce. That'll keep you up at night. Well, guess what? You need to follow your heart, and whatever this is hasn't had much heart in it at all. It's just been a big mess. And whatever mess it's whatever storm is currently, you know, hailing in your life, it will be okay. You reach out for support. You reach out for help. I don't believe that not only did you not know about most of this stuff going on, but I don't think like you were involved in it at all. So whatever it is, it will be okay. And I just, you know, these last two cards, I just see her sitting on there. She's like, okay, you know, Mitzrael's taking out the trash here. It's like, get that guy out of my courtroom. That's what I'm saying. Anyway. Tell you what, if anybody has anything remotely similar to that actually happen, I'd love to hear about that. That would be interesting. I feel like, you know, if somebody has to show up in court, there might be a little hubbub. But it'll work in your favor. Get through this. You will get through this. You can get through this. You need to be gentle with yourself. You need to understand that you cannot be responsible for everything, especially other people's decisions. But I think you also know now that you want more involvement with things. You want to go in a different direction. You want to try things a different way, and it's a good idea. But this little bit of blah blah is going to be untangled. I also see with this Seven of Cups here. She's holding a, what do you call it? She's holding an hourglass. I think in your heart the decision's been made. I think in your heart the decision's been made, and I think you're just kind of waiting. Or you're allowing yourself to go back and forth and second and triple guess and quadruple guess. Something, infinite possibilities. Are you capable of looking at infinite possibilities? Are you capable of thinking of infinite possibilities? Probably not. But you're capable of understanding that infinite possibilities includes both good and bad things. Don't get stuck in this stupid trap of only looking at the bad possibilities, huh? Start understanding that there's better ways that things can go. So this is what's keeping you stuck in your head. You feel like you've got to figure that out, and you're not gonna. You can't possibly think of infinite possibilities. And so you can only go based on the information that you have in front of you. Don't create pitfalls for yourself that don't exist. Don't create potentials that aren't real, negative potentials and things like that that aren't real, that halt you. Ace of Swords, Six of Wands, Queen of Swords. God, the hope of all the earth. Ritual and ceremony can acquire all the treasures of heaven and earth, which are not always material goods. This came up about 60,000 times today. Wealth, prosperity, abundance doesn't always look like money. Certainly doesn't. And people can be very rich and abundant in spirit and magic and all sorts of things and truth. But people won't pay them a lick of mind because they're not rich. Tell me how stupid that is. Somebody can be speaking beauty and truth, and most people won't believe it because it's not backed by money. Isn't that dumb? Anyway, that's how I feel about it. I think you might be seeing that there's more to that too. Money can't always buy happiness, and generally it doesn't. Let's get some sleep, huh? Love you, bye.